as far back as the second millennia, so 1350 BC, and then it takes a snapshot through that timeline all the way to the 20th century. So I select 7 stories, which I think each one is kind of blends in a way with each other. So it kind of there's a continuation there. Still, each one stands alone, and so it's basically this. It's 7 historical moments in the greater scheme of the history of and prehistory of the Eastern Mediterranean, and that's what the album is all about.
What's up, Headbangers? It's Dan here from Headbangers Australia, and today we've got an awesome guest. Basically, I want to give you a rundown. We actually reviewed this band. This is called Occult Kenji. This is the reviewer that Mark from Fuga Agasa had described the album. A fucking resurrection. One man built this from the ground up, and it stands as one of 2025's boldest, most visionary metal releases. Bow your head. Occult Kenji has arrived and the gods are watching, and we've got the brainchild of the project, of the I'm excited, I'm up on my words already. We've got Mario on. Mario, mate, how are you, mate?
Hello, I'm very well, thank you. Very well, thank you. Nice to be here with you, having a lovely chat.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to it. Basically, we had a mad, basically the album, we're basically blown away with this album of gods and ascenders, of God and ancestors, excuse me. And I do warn you, when I get excited, I do tend to mumble.
It happens to me as well.
Oh, awesome. But basically, the album, man. How's the reception been back in Cyprus and basically just in Europe, and basically what you heard so far?
Well, to start off with Cyprus, it's a small scene. It's a solid scene, but it's a small scene. So the reception was quite good. I was very happy to hear the feedback from the people who heard the album. So that was very nice to hear. And then the overall reception of the album, it was very nice. I didn't expect that it gets the good reviews that came in. I was surprised myself. So it's like that. So I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, so basically, I basically have to say, like, I didn't expect to be drawn into this kind of record. I think it's the way the lyrics and the music flow all together. I think it's really generous because some of the songs that you've written, which I'll go a bit more later with some of the songs, there's storytelling, which basically gives you the imagination of what gods and ancestors are about. Can you give us a bit of an insight into the ideas and concept behind of gods and ancestors?
Yeah, absolutely. So to give a little background, usually when I write music, it's about mythology, legends, history. I mean, that's the kind of things that I like reading and studying. So it kind of brushes off into my music. And it was the same case for this album, which I felt it hits a little bit more home because I tried to focus for the first time in the history of the Eastern Mediterranean, so a little bit closer to where I come from, and maybe this kind of reflects a little bit why I tried to put a little bit more passion. It felt really closer to me. So maybe in a way it touches this music as well. So Yeah, so the thematology, it's about the history of the Eastern Mediterranean. It starts as far back as the second millennia, so 1350 BC, and then it takes a snapshot through that timeline all the way to the 20th century. So I select 7 stories, which I think each one is kind of blends in a way with each other. So it kind of there's a continuation there. Still, each one stands alone, and yeah. So it's basically this. It's 7 historical moments in the greater scheme of the history of and prehistory of the Eastern Mediterranean, and that's what the album is all about.
Cool, man. That's good to have that kind of knowledge, because now I can see how they do progress. Each 7 tracks does have that kind of progression. I guess what you're trying to do. For those of you that have just joined this video or just curious about this project, basically, I'll give you guys a snapshot of their album by track. It starts off with The Hand of Nogal. Hopefully, I pronounced that right.
Yeah, perfect.
Basically, for me personally, it kind of sets the tone, the intro, and with this particular song, there are hooks. And then we go into one of my favorite tracks. This is called The Sea Peoples. Now,
Nice.
what I really love about this track, it's basically for 1 minute and 1 and 30 minutes, it's technical, and it's based on and it's very simple, and there's variations. It starts with a simple riff, then there's drums coming in, and basically I'm a bassist, so I love to hear the bass angle, and you hear the bass coming in the flow, and then it comes into the lyrics. But basically, as I said, you guys got to listen to The Sea Peoples. We've added that track as well with The Hand of Nagal on our official Spotify playlist. So go listen to the playlist, because if I go back to The Sea People, that kind of particular track for 2 minutes, I have a habit of pressing back to the beginning of the track. I don't normally do that. Normally I'll go, fuck, this is good. I don't normally do that because that's just one element of the song. But then you've got lyrics to that song about the Sea Peoples. And if those of you don't know the history of what you've written, it can also be related and misinterpreted to, today's society. There's good lyrics. I just want to go into your lyrics a bit before. You've got lyrics here that basically the first lyric, you basically set the tone. It's basically drought and feminine led the invasion. And basically the main track of that, the main lyrics that kind of stood out is became the monster that I never wanted to be. As we summarize the song, it continues on to the second part. Basically, your lyrics and your storytelling you're explaining what's happening. And then basically it goes on saying, have to release the monsters always recited to me, because the land is our prize and we need to ride. And then it transcends to the ending, and it kind of gives the story of that particular song. And there's also certain tracks as well that is also good, and a different type of metal as well. You got Cult of the Great White Bull. Starts strong, powerful anthem. And then there's another. Then it sets the tone with the next track. It kind of transcends to the second half of the story, which is King Nothing, a very Dream Theater, Pink Floyd-ish kind of like epic kind of metal that kind of gives it more of a ballad. I'll call it more of the ballad of the album. And then Apollo's Cup, and then leads on to Death Road, where you kind of go use your death metal elements in it. And then it just ends with the last track. And guess what, guys? It's only 35 minutes. And you get all that instead of this great for 1 hour for listening to an album. Mate, I've got to say, I've pretty much kind of like told you what I really enjoyed about this album. Is there a track on the album that means the most to you, or one that best represents of gods and ancestors as a whole?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, I would say two tracks best represent the album. That would be Cult of the Great White Bull, and then the last track, Ilatis. So I believe those are the two most representative tracks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'll have to agree with you about the Sea Peoples, and I'm very happy that you got the bass vibe. I'm a bassist primarily myself also. And by the way, I've seen your playthrough on the self-titled one on the Effigy of Madness, and pretty awesome
Oh,
stuff, man. Amazing stuff.
wow.
So I'm very happy that you got the bass vibe on the Sea Peoples. I'm super happy about that. I'm humbled.
Mate, mate, I haven't had that. I don't think people recognise that there was. You saw odd videos of me playing bass for my old band.
Oh, I did.
Got to put me off there.
Brilliant
Mate,
stuff, mate. Brilliant stuff, really.
yeah, I have to go back and practice bass. It's been a while since I've touched it. Really, been busy doing this stuff, but no, like it's basically I'll probably what I like about your lyrics, like especially with the Sea people, because I kind of can relate to it, because it's kind of like people defending what they believe in. You know, they didn't ask for it. You know, like it depends on what time set it was in. But if you look at it in today's society and what's happening around the world, people did not ask for this to happen, but they have to unleash their monster to fight for what they believe is their land. So and
Precisely.
you know and as I said, man, that bass kind of that makes it enjoyable, but it's just the riff. And it's just basically that just goes on, and some people go, oh, because these days, like it's good to have technical elements into your playing, but sometimes it's a simple riff, and you just add these elements, variations, you know, like, and just lets it breathe. You know, like when we'll talk now that you brought my old band called Effigy of Madness, we wrote a song called Evelyn, and that song's about Evelyn. She committed suicide at the Empire State Building back in I think it was in the 60s. I can't remember. It's been a while since we wrote the song, but that song was basically about her taking her life. And it's really remembered because when she landed, because she was on the top of the Empire State Building. So when she landed, she fell onto the top of a caravan car. And when they took a picture of her falling down, her body did not squash, did not scratch. It was intact, and it was like she was laying in bed peacefully. I'll send you the image once. Yeah, I'll send you the image once we finish the interview, mate. But but basically, that in that kind of particular song called Evelyn, we basically, well, I didn't write the lyrics, but the brainchild of that band, Spud, he basically wrote those lyrics, and it's very similar to the Sea People, where you went instrumental for 2 minutes. We did the complete opposite. We came in and it was a ballad kind of song, and then in the last 2 minutes of that song, we went and just played heavy. Kind of inspired the song like One by Metallica. So you know how like the song One by Metallica starts with a story.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that iconic ending. But yeah, so as I said, man, it's just basically it's just so sometimes just doing simple, keep it simple, but adding other elements, and you've done it really well, not just on that track, but you know, King Nothing has the main riff, and then you add a little elements to create the story. Then there's a second half of King Nothing, and then it turns into something else. So you know, this is not, you know, this is why it's kind of an impressive record, and this is where that I'm still excited to talk about it, because it's really well a good record, and it's probably one of my personal favorites of the year. As you said, that the album dives deep into the Bronze Age myth, sacrifice, and memory. So for this particular album, Mike, I know you said that you want to connect it to the Mediterranean. Was there any other inspirations why you wanted to explore that for this particular project?
Well, not really. I mean, for all the past music that I've put out there up to now, I was moving around between three mythologies, let's say, Scandinavian, Japanese, and Greek, or Mediterranean, because the world there is a little intertwined. So so I thought, but I've been doing this when I've been playing with bands. So it was more of a collective work. And now for the first time, I thought, you know what, maybe I'll give an album that hits a little bit more home, and then we see what happens then. So and then from there, because the way I write the music, I will normally put the music down, finish with the music, and up to that point, I try not to bring into the mix where and if there should be any lyrics. So the lyrics, they really is like the music speaks to me, and if I feel there should be some lyrics here, very well, they're very well then, and if not, still that's fine, and even more so, after I'm done with the music, I'll get, by listening to it, I'll get the vibe. I feel, I'll say, okay, this one feels a little bit Bronze Age. This one feels a little bit more like that. And I just trust what the music is telling me. And that's how I follow the lyrics from there. I don't know why, at least for me, the lyric writing is the least enjoyable part. It's just what it is. So I enjoy much more writing the music. So I give this this thing to the music to speak to me, so I can write the lyrics after, and that is all.
yeah. Like some people are good at doing lyrics, and some people are like, "Bah, oh."
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of fun. It's kind of funny because back with Energy of Madness, back in that band, it took us a while to get lyrics because the music was just there. We were like, oh, we're just gonna find the right lyrics. So it's just kind of funny that when you find the good tunes, and sometimes the lyrics do come naturally, and sometimes I just go, oh man, and then you're like, fuck, I wish we had a vocalist in the band or someone that could make lyrics that could just get the job done, But yeah, like you probably, as you mentioned, you've been watching the videos, and I don't know if you've been watching some of the interviews that we do here. We do talk about the album covers. So I don't know. So basically with the album cover for Gods and Ancestors, it's very Mediterranean because there's a tree. I've got an Italian background. My dad was born in Italy, so it kind of reminds me of the olive tree.
Nice.
But I know it's probably not an olive tree, but it's kind of because it kind of gives that Mediterranean, because the olive trees are basically that kind of part of Italy, and all the other plantation trees that's back where my dad grew up in. But you got the leaves around it, basically giving it that theme. What was the? Can you probably tell us how you got the art? And you worked with the artists to get the themes and the sound of the record, basically on the visual side. And I know you've done some videos as well. So can you explain a bit more your concept and your ideas when it comes to the visual side of things, when you collaborate with, with anyone that does the animation videos and also the artwork?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. So for the artwork, I had this idea that I brought to UK illustrator to put that idea on paper. So my idea was that kind of make the title of Gods and Ancestors into a picture. So that's why if you pay a little attention on the tree, there's no leaves, there's clouds.
Yes.
So what does that really mean is that it's the gods above, and then the roots of the tree is the ancestors below. So it kind of makes this circle around these two elements: the gods, the supernatural, and then the natural, the ancestors. So this is just the the image of the title. That's what it is. Now for the for the visual, for the music videos and all that, I try to stay faithful to the what I started with my previous EP. So I've been working with this artist named Giuseppe Kurnia from Indonesia. So he did the previous animation video for me, and it was a really good cooperation with Giuseppe. So I thought, let's work again. He was very happy to work with me again. So we did exactly that. And one of the reasons I wanted to do that is because for both of the music videos I've worked with Giuseppe, it's the lyrics were written in Greek. So there was one wall here between the music, which is an international language everybody understands, but then the lyrics, you know, if it's in Greek, I'm only limited to passing on the message to the people who can actually understand Greek, you know. So I told the story to Giuseppe, and then I gave him the artistic freedom to do as he likes. So I told him what I imagined the music video to be. I told him the story, and then I told him, you do your thing. So and he did a fantastic job on both on the music videos to pass the message what the story is really about. And so as I'm now having a little heritage of these animation videos, I'm thinking maybe I'll keep that, at least one animation video per album. I'll probably do that. So
yeah. It's cool, man. That's cool, man, because they kind of like give that, you know, the interpretation and kind of, and he's done a great job matching to what you're after as well. So that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, you should do it. Yeah, every time you do a record, do an animation video, lyric video. Yeah. But I guess we probably we'll go with the visual side. But I guess like those that. Like, because the impression that I get of you, Mario, is that you're more a musical person than you got these ideas in the head, and when it comes to lyrics, it's like, you know, ooh. So, you know, being that kind of passionate musician you are, with the records, basically, we talked about the bass because it's gritty, and you had a session drummer that did the drumming. So these are real drums; they're not programmed drums. As well. Basically, Eric, I was just wondering, for all the gear nerds that are watching, can you give us a rundown of what you used in the studio to basically get that sound from that current album?
Okay, so for the studio, the way I work, so I would craft the music at my home recording studio. I will take these tracks to a good mate, a very good friend, a producer that works for Los Atlantis Records here in Cyprus, Kyriakos Irododu. And then from there, we've been working together for a lot of records. So he knows what I need. He knows what I like. He knows what I want. And most of all, he understands and he has the ability to tell me no, you know, because I'll come with the ideas. And I'll give you one very good example. When I went into the studio to record this album, I went there and I had in mind something grandiose, like with orchestrals, the same thing I usually do with my other albums, like something massive, you know. And then Kyriakos tells me, Marios, you know what? Let's calm down this time. Let's be more organic. I think this album deserves to be a little bit more organic. I wasn't convinced at first. I really had this thing that I wanted to make this album massive. And he told me, okay, let's try it out. If it works, good. If it doesn't, we go your way. I said, okay, sounds like a fair plan. And we did exactly that. And at the end of the day, I really appreciated more how how better the album sounded if it was, more organic, concentrating a little more on the on the aspect of what makes a band, the bass, the guitars, the drums, the vocals. So I kind of stripped out all the orchestras and all these things that one band, unless they're doing playbacks, they cannot play live, or unless they have the budget of a massive band, which we don't, obviously. And then I things that I was trying to say with orchestras, I either took them out completely or moved them back to tell them with some backing vocals or with some guitar lines like that. And I felt, I went back to Kyriakos and I was like, mate, thank you for that. Really, I'm internally thankful for that, because that was a really good call. And so, yeah, the way so back to your initial question, when I walk into the studio with my tracks, I give the sound of how will the sound outcome be to Kyriakos, a producer. I like to work that way, because if it's something that I can give some directions, but as long as I'm not the best in that job, I'd rather give to someone that knows what he's doing better than me, and that's how I like to work. So in terms of the sound, we went as organic as possible. So there's no as you said, the drums are the session musician behind the drum set, everything. There's no orchestras, very like this white noise here and there. There's almost none of that. So and that's what we did. I mean, in terms of the sound and the outcome, this is the backstory.
Oh, cool, man. Cool, man. Like, I guess, like, we want to, like, just more focus on yourself for a bit. Like, what was your inspiration into you musically? Like, were you always got into heavy metal, or did you always had, like, were you ever influenced by other music? What made you go onto a musical path, like because you're a very gifted musician.
So I got into music the same time I got into metal. So I didn't show any particular interest in music in general, apart from the like the just listening to music but my real interest into music came when I got so the story is that a good friend of mine from school, he came up to me one day and he brought me this Iron Maiden CD, The Number of the Beast, and he told me, "Don't show this to your parents. Obviously the album art and everything, but have a listen. Trust me."
Yeah.
And Dan, I was hooked, mate. So from that point onwards, it was like me and this good friend, we got hooked, and we took this path like forever. Till this day, we have the same habits. We'll go to the record store, buy some albums. We will share music with each other, and it's all about metal. So this happened when I was 12. I'm 40 now. So it's been a long way, but we're still here, still metalheads. I mean, now what's a little different now is that I am branching out a little bit into more kinds of music. I'm not so dogmatic about what I listen, not anymore. But still, I'm a metalhead through and through. I mean, that's the music I listen to 95% of the time. So,
mate, you're a headbanger, metal for life, man. Is there a current record that you're enjoying at the moment? Obviously, you know what mine is, but is there an album that or have you that you're enjoying right now that you like to share with us that you're interested in going? Well, this is pretty cool.
I've discovered this Icelandic band recently. It's called I don't know if I'm spelling the name right. It's MUR. So Moore. They have a new album, like maybe it's 1 year old now. It's self-titled More, and I am hooked. It's beautiful. It's like it's post black metal. It's very atmospheric.
Yeah.
and it's fantastic. So if you're asking me what would a suggestion to a fellow metalhead be right now, I would say this band. It's a debut album, so it's really good. It's amazingly good. It's fantastic.
No, we'll definitely check them out, man. We definitely check it out, man. But before we go, I saved the most hardest question for you for last. You probably know what I'm going to ask. What's the chances of Occult Kenji being a live band? Like, is there a way you can like simplify, downsize some of the musical elements? Like, you know, like this record, it would be awesome live, especially like hearing songs like the Sea Peoples.
Yeah. So, okay. The thing is, if you have asked me this question like a year ago, I was 2 EPs in with Occult Kenji at that time. And if I was asked this question back then, I would say, nah, I'm good. I mean, I've I've played lives a lot with my previous band, Methysos, and I was okay. I mean, maybe I tried a little different path. I'll just use music as an expression, and that's it. But asking me this question now, so I'm playing for another band. I'm the bassist of a thrash band called Dagger. This is the brainchild of a brilliant lad called Alex Michelson, and the guys from my bandmates, you know, they're in a way like pushing me, like, you want to put Occult Kenji on stage? We're here. Let's do it. So I'm thinking about it. I'm considering, because up to that point, you know, the need and the scratch to go out and play live, it was covered. I was satisfied. I was satisfying this need through my other band, Dagger.
Yeah.
And I had Occult Kenji as a vehicle for purely a personal expression, and that's it. But now, yeah, maybe. So I'm not dismissing that one day Occult Kenji will be playing live. This is a real possibility now.
Oh, mate, mate, I'm excited, man. Mate, because some of the good bands that like, you know, like that I've seen, like especially in the underground, they all started just as a one-man project, and then it's like everyone's like, man, this is good, get a band, you know. And,
yeah, true.
But we've got to leave it there. It was awesome having a chat with you, man. Really enjoyable. We did go sidetracked, you know, basically, but that's what's good about these kind of interviews. It's good when it's organic. Those of you, mate, I highly recommend Occult Kenji's album of Gods of Ancestors. This is a hidden gem. Those of you, your true headbangers, that you're looking for a hidden gem, this is from Cyprus. This record produced and Marios is from Cyprus. Basically, man, this is if you want to look for a hidden gem, I recommend listening to it. It's on some of the tracks are on our official Spotify playlist. We have added links to their Bandcamp, so go visit Occult Kenji's Bandcamp, suss it out. There's lyrics there, so when we're talking about the way he writes his lyrics, even that it's a bit of a pain in the ass for him, you know, he basically captures it there with his hard work. Really recommend this band, and hopefully by the next time we talk to Marios, we might find out he's got a live band. Mate, it's a bit, mate, very, very, very so much, mate, for being on the show, mate, and so excited to see you next time.
Dan, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate that. And I also appreciate truly what you're doing for the metal community, because sometimes I still consider myself primarily a metal fan more than a metal musician. So I really appreciate what, you know, all the people, including yourself, are doing, you know, in the shadows, in the background. Like, I'm not talking, you know, the podcasters, the people who have blogs, the people who do critiques and reviews, the venue owners, because the fans, most of all, because without this, there's no heavy metal, you know. It's a community, and it's self-sustainable, it's self-sufficient. So if we take out all this and we just speak about musicians, there's nothing. So thank you for that, really.
No,
It was lovely talking to you.
yeah. Mate, thank you. And we'll see you guys in the next video.